Hey, welcome back to Watson's Wagons. I get confused with Watson's Models sometimes because I've got a separate channel for that. But anyways, I want to talk about these exhaust manifolds and why I'm changing it. These stupid things are notorious for warping, okay, on this Silverado, and these 5.3 liters. And 5 years ago, I failed inspection on my truck because it was making a ticking noise. It sounds like lifters. And what happened is that the bolts on the exhaust manifold broke on the very back. And what happens is, and it's a stupid, in my opinion, a dumbass design. But when these bolts go through and they go in, there's lots of play, right? There's lots of gap in here, all the way around, doesn't matter where. But it allows for moisture to get in there. And what happens is that the neck of these bolts get rusty. A lot of hot and cold cycles, things like that. And they get weak and they snap. Same thing with this. Now the torque spec, 5 years ago when I did the replacement of, because I had to extract some bolts, I had some broke. I think I broke one off. And I had to do a little surgery to pull one out. I believe at the time I found it was 18 foot-pounds to get them tight. And now I'm reading 22 foot-pounds. So I got to do a little more research to make sure I get that correct. But you start around 11 pounds, you know, in the center, and you kind of work your way out. Then you come back and do your, 18 pounds or 22 pounds, whatever. And I'll get that figured out. But when I did this manifold 5 years ago, I had originally ordered a replacement, and then I ended up sending it back because I'm like, this doesn't look so bad. I had a steel ruler. I laid it on here, and you can look at the video from 5 years ago on the YouTube channel. And I took a wire wheel to it and a roll lock, and that's not too horribly bad, but it ain't accurate, right? Because, the eyeball doesn't see all that warpage. Now, I have an actual straight edge, and when you put it on here, you can definitely see daylight between the straight edge and the manifold in a couple of locations. And where that daylight is manifesting itself is, on these ears. And depending on how you look at it with the physical eye, you can actually see where these things look like they're bent down. Or there's a height difference here where the two pieces meet. So one school of thought is, well, the manifold has survived all these years. This is a 2014. It's been through multiple hot and cold cycles, obviously, and maybe the metal has settled. Why don't I just get it resurfaced? And I suppose I could maybe do that and have it at the ready for down the road. But I'm tired of the downtime, okay? I want to keep my truck on the road. So I went ahead and bought a replacement for it. Now, I'm not going to get rid of this one, but I clearly have some bad exhaust leaks that occurred on this thing. And you can hear the ticking noise. It's very prominent. So we're going to clear that up with this new product, okay? So the Dorman I picked up yesterday from Napa, they actually had in stock. We got this from the local Napa out in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. And we have like a distribution center, I think, out near, out on the Carlisle Pike, almost to Carlisle. And if you order it early enough, they'll get it to the local shop, and then you can just go pick it up. However, it's new, nice machine surface. It is a Dorman product, and it's the exact same one that Advance Auto sells, AutoZone sells it, Napa sells it. So but Napa could get it to me. So I put my trusty tool on here and I check it at all different angles, and we are super flat all the way across. Now, I don't like these gaskets, but they're kind of like a crush, sort of a crush gasket, but that's what we're going to use. Now, the kit comes with, this is the converter pipe to manifold donut gasket. The kit does come with new replacement studs and nuts, and I ordered the exhaust manifold hardware kit, which comes with enough for both sides. All right, and then everything here will get a high temperature anti-seize compound. That's what I used for the replacement 5 years ago. I had no problem getting these bolts out with all the threads intact and clean. But from here forward, they were rusty and funky looking, okay? But from here in, everything looked good, and the threads are still in good shape inside the block. Now, it was interesting because I did torque this thing properly to the proper specs. The two outer ones came out super easy. The inside ones, because of the warpage, they were on there tight, and it took some effort to pop them loose. So, yeah, it's almost like a regular maintenance item to check these freaking manifolds, man. So, if you're going to be in there monkeying around, take care of it. While you're at it, pick up some M6 by 1.0 by 25 millimeter bolts. Okay, you're going to need these for your heat shield, because you've got 3 of them here, and the heat shields, okay, they mount in this location. So spend a couple dollars and get you the new bolts for that. And I would recommend that you also put anti-seize compound on that. I'm not going to show installing this, but I wanted you to understand why I'm replacing this. When you're that deep into something, just take care of it. If it's got to come off anyways, hit it with a straight edge, check it out. Plus, you got to remember, when this manifold, when those bolts broke, okay, and I was running around with broken bolts and didn't know it, moisture's getting in here, okay? Now it's rusting, now it's pitting, and now you have a really crappy surface in here. And again, I thought I could get away with cleaning it and just putting a new gasket on there. I was wrong. It just, all it did, and you can see where the soot is. It's been leaking, but hey, this will buy me another, I bet you I get another 10 years out of this. So the truck runs good. I love this truck. It's had some predictable problems, some regular maintenance issues, but I won't trade this truck for anything. I've had it since it was new, and it is what it is. So the bottom line is this job sucks. It just does. Manifold was simple. And make sure that when you install the manifold that you're using anti-seize compound that's appropriate for aluminum, because you are bolting together dissimilar metals, and you don't want to use things like the, the copper anti-seize compound or whatever. So just make sure you're using the proper stuff. The mount itself was just a horrible experience, especially getting up under that heat shield, getting everything bolted together, dropping bolts getting dropped and lost into here, and all kinds of nooks and crannies. So needless to say, I invented a few curse words. But this side is back together, torqued to spec, and all I have to do now is lift the starter up in place, get it bolted in, and then go to the other side. Interesting thing, the flange here, there's a gasket in there. They're only calling for like 22 pounds of torque on those nuts. So that's what I did, and I'll monitor it and see if we have any leaks. 18 to 20 foot-pounds is what I ended up with. 20 pounds on the bolts for the manifold to the block, and I basically ran these bolts down just until they hit. I didn't really torque them down. They're, you know, they're inch pounds. I don't even know what it was, but I did not torque those down really hard. But I did put some anti-seize compound on them. So I am, you can tell, sweating like a stuck pig. And, oh my God, I spent an hour, dude. I had lost a socket. It got in there. I lost a bolt. And it got in there, and it got caught between a harness and some piece of something down there, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. So I was crawling around with my trusty LED lights and other LED lights and mirrors, and I finally located it, reached it with a magnet and got it out. And then I doinked up and put the wrong bolt in for the motor mount to the block. I actually used the bolt that came from the motor mount to the frame, which is a little bit longer. And I recognized that when I was bolting everything up. So I had to reach in there and take it out and swap it out. So in a fit of frustration, I had to take a few breaks, man. I mean, look at me. I'm dripping. So I'm going to cool off, and then I'm going to come to the other side and do the driver's side, which appears to have far less obstructions. And then once I get that done, I'm going to go for a start and see if I eliminated any vibrations. So that's it, man. Not for the faint of heart, okay? I thought it was going to be simple. It's not, especially if you don't have a lift. You will need to crawl underneath your vehicle, get you some extensions. I recommend, where are we at here? You're going to need, what is that? Possibly 36-inch or whatever, with a swivel like that, 15 millimeter, but a short 15 millimeter to get to the two lower engine mount bolts. All right, those dudes, they're a pain in the ass. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. And, get her done.